Okay. Very good morning to all of you. I welcome you all for this today's new lecture of our industrial hydraulics and pneumatic subject. Today we are going to start our unit number 4, that is section number 2. Okay. So up till now we have discussed about the hydraulic system. Okay, which use hydraulic fluid. Okay, as a working fluid or the fluid medium to transmit or to control the fluid power. Getting it? That means we have covered chapter number or unit number 1 regarding hydraulic system. In that we have seen the actuator also, and the remaining component of the basic elements of the hydraulic system we have discussed in unit number 2. And in the third unit we have discussed about the hydraulic circuits and some hydraulic circuit which are used in the industrial application. Okay, that means so far we have discussed the hydraulic systems. Okay, now we shall shift our focus on the other branch of the fluid power, that is called the pneumatics. Okay, actually in the unit number 1 itself I have given some idea or the basic information about the pneumatic. Okay, and also we have discussed about the comparison between the hydraulic system and the pneumatic system also. But as per the syllabus, now we'll start with this pneumatic. Okay, so in this unit number 4 we are going to cover the basics about the pneumatic, then a pneumatic system, then advantages, limitation, or you can call disadvantages, application of the pneumatic system. Then the main point here through this, what are the points we are going to discuss now? So through that, you should able to uh, get answer of one question, and that question is that what are the reasons for considering the use of the pneumatic systems instead of the hydraulic system? Okay, so that questions answer you should get through this chapter number 4. Getting it? And after discussion of that, we'll go for the once again comparison of the hydraulic and pneumatic system. Then we are going to discuss some standard ISO standard symbols which are used in the pneumatic systems. Getting it? Or in general, already we have discussed some symbols. Okay, or all symbols in the earlier lecture. And after that, at the last at the end of this unit number 4 we are going to discuss about the pneumatic cylinder, that is the elements of the pneumatic system. And from that element, first we are going to discuss the pneumatic actuators. Okay, and as we know that pneumatic linear actuators means the pneumatic cylinders, and rotary actuator means what? The ear motors. For each and every type of the actuator, pneumatic actuator, we are going to discuss its principle, its a construction, working, operation. Okay, everything we are going to discuss. So this is the content of this unit number 4. Now let us start with the basic. That is what does this term pneumatic? Okay, or what is meant by the pneumatic? Now before going to discuss this point, let me know that whether my screen and my video is visible at your end and whether my voice is audible at your end. Okay, just give me confirmation message in the chat box, yes, no. Okay, whether everything is okay at your end, just tell me. Everyone, please give me answer, yes, no. Okay, please don't force me to take your name. Okay, from your side I should get answer. Okay, just okay. Thank you. I got the answer. Okay, everything is okay. Now let us start with the basic. That is what does this term pneumatics means what? Okay, so this term pneumatics actually it has been derived from the Greek word. Okay, there is one Greek word. It is called pneuma. Okay, P-N-E-U-M-A, pneuma. Okay, and now what is its English meaning? Because this pneuma word is the Greek word. So this pneuma means the air, or you can call it as a wine or the breath. Okay, as per the meaning in the English word. Okay, from the Greek word pneuma to English. Air you can consider as a air, or it's, you can consider as a wine, or you can consider as a breath. Okay, its meaning is that. Now, what is the definition of this pneumatics? Okay, this is again basic question. So the pneumatic may be defined as the that branch of engineering science. Okay, branch of engineering science, or you can call it the second branch of the fluid power, because the pneumatic is the second branch of the fluid power, and the first branch is, we know that, the hydraulics. So hydraulics is the first branch, or the one of the branch belongs to the fluid power, and this pneumatic is the second branch of the fluid power. And also this pneumatic, it is defined as it may be defined as that branch of the engineering science which deals with the study of the behavior and application of the compressed air. The branch which deals with the study of the behavior and application of the compressed air. In general, this is the definition. Now, like pneumatic hydraulics, for this pneumatic also we can give another definition, and its definition is like that: pneumatic is a branch of the fluid power technology or fluid power. And again, you can call this pneumatic is the technology that deals with the generation, control, and transmission of the power. How? Using the pressurized or the compressed air. Once again, I am telling, the branch of the industrial fluid power, or they just you can call fluid power, which deals with generation, control, and the transmission of the power using compressed air, or you can call it as the pressurized air. Okay, so in simple words, here I have written pneumatic, which utilizes the freely available air. Okay, freely available air. So I am taking it in another word, that is a pressurized or the compressed air, and its utilization we have to take as a working medium for our purpose to transmit the power from source to the your destination. Okay, where we want to perform, or we want to obtain the work, that is called the designation. Okay, sorry, destination. Okay, so transmission, first is the generation, control, and the transmission of the power. Okay, using compressed air or the pressurized air, that is called the pneumatic. Getting it? In hydraulic, we were taking the fluid, working fluid as a oil or water. Okay, that is liquid, and that also we are uh, increasing its pressure. That is a pressurized oil we were using. Okay, for hydraulic section. Getting it? But here pneumatic, here we have to use the compressed air as a working medium for what purpose? To generate, to transmit, or to control the power using the compressed air. Getting? So that is the basic of this pneumatic. Now, similar to hydraulic system, we should know the different basic elements of the our this pneumatic system also. So this pneumatic system is the one that uses the, as I have said, that uses the pressurized gas or the pressurized air for our purpose to transmit and control the power. To transmit and control the power. Getting it? However, almost all the pneumatic system know that actually prefers the use of the air. Okay. In general, you can call gas, but whatever the available pneumatic systems are there, no, that uses the air rather than the some other gas. Okay, as a your fluid medium. Okay, as a your fluid medium. So air is the mostly used fluid in the pneumatic system, you can call, and that should be or that to be compressed air. Getting it? Now, this as why it is that air is used, because due to the easiness of availability of its that air, due to the easiness of availability and non-hazardous nature of the air. Okay, due to that only air is used as a working medium or as a fluid in this pneumatic. Okay, and this pneumatic is found increasingly in application, especially in industry lab automation. Okay, in the industry automation, pneumatic is used. Okay, so we should know this pneumatic also. Okay, because we know that fluid power having the two section. One is the hydraulic, that is we have covered, and second is the pneumatic. So due to that only we are taking this another section, that is a pneumatic. Now we got the meaning of the pneumatic, that is pneuma, Greek word. Then we got the definition of the pneumatics. Okay, why we are using this air as a fluid power, as a fluid medium in the pneumatic. It's also answer is we have received. Okay, once again I am repeating why air is used, because air is uh, abundantly available in the environment, in the surrounding. Again, it is safe to use because it is non-hazardous in nature, and it is very cheap in cost. Okay, and it's a maintenance, that easier maintenance and easy handling. That is another aspect of the to use this air, and it can be exhausted easily to the environmental. Okay, to the atmosphere after use. Okay, it can be easy to exhaust. Okay, to the atmosphere after the use. So that are some points that we should know about the air. Getting it? So this basic we have covered. Now advantages of this pneumatic system. Getting it? Advantages of pneumatic system. Or you can call, you can take in another way, that is why, what are the reasons for considering the use of the pneumatic system over the hydraulic system? That over the hydraulic system, you can this one. Advantages of pneumatic system over the hydraulic system, you can consider this question. Or you can take it in another way, that is what are the reasons for considering the use of pneumatic system instead of this hydraulic system. Okay, instead of this hydraulic system. Okay, so its answer I will explain you now. Okay, now if you see in industry, in many application, these pneumatic systems are preferred over this hydraulic system. Okay, now why it is preferred, this pneumatic system over that hydraulic system? So there are many reasons available. Now what are that reasons, that I will tell you. Okay, now first reason is that, since as we know that since weight density of gas is many times lesser than the liquid, weight density of air, or you can consider weight density of the gas, is many times lesser than the liquid. Therefore, inertia effect of this pneumatic component are lesser than the hydraulic system component. Inertia effect of the pneumatic system component are lesser than the hydraulic system component. Thus, the force required to accelerate the gas, or the force required to accelerate the air, is much lesser than the required to accelerate the an equal volume of your oil. That is the first reason. Okay. Again, second reason is that since viscosity of air is much lesser than that of oil. Okay. Therefore, the pneumatic system experience lesser frictional pressure and lower power. Okay, it requires lower power than that of the our hydraulic system. Then third reason is that unlike the hydraulic system, pneumatic system can exhaust a fluid. That is, fluid means what? Your fluid medium as a air, so that you can exhaust to the atmosphere after the completion of its assigned work, or after getting the, or often the work, you can exhaust that used air to the atmosphere. Okay, so this reduces the requirement of the special design for designs for the reservoir and leak proof system also, that is eliminated in this pneumatic system, because we know that in the hydraulic system it is required. Okay, again these pneumatic systems are comparatively cheaper in cost. It is cheaper in cost than that of our pneumatic hydraulic system. Then this pneumatic system provide better operational advantages when compared to the your hydraulic system. No, this pneumatic system gives the better operational advantage. Then compared to your hydraulic system, pneumatic are lesser in weight. Okay, in general, this point also you can consider. Again, and the last is the unlike the hydraulic system, leakage of the air in the pneumatic system will not affect the system performance. Okay, as compared to hydraulic system, here leakage of the air, it does not affect the performance of that system. So these are the some points, or these are some reasons due to that only we can consider as the pneumatic, we should consider the use of the pneumatic system instead of the hydraulic system. Getting it? Or you can consider these are the advantages. Now, along with these advantages, there are some disadvantages or the limitations of this pneumatic system that we will discuss here. Okay, disadvantages. So the main disadvantages of the pneumatic system I'm going to give here. The first disadvantage is that due to the high compressibility of the air, the pneumatic system cannot provide precise actuator. Due to the high compressibility of the air, these pneumatic systems cannot provide precise actuators, actuator control, and precise position control. Getting it? That is the first disadvantages or the limitation. And the second is that due to the compressor design limitation. See, in the hydraulic system, we were taking the basic element as a pump, okay, to suck fluid or that liquid from the reservoir and to provide it to the further. We need pump as a element, basic element in the pneumatic, but sorry, in the hydraulic. But in the pneumatic, as we are using the air as a fluid medium, that means here compressor is the one of main element. Getting it? So due to the compressor design limitation, this pneumatic system can be applied only to the lower pressure, that is also less than the 17 bar application only. Okay, due to the limitation of the compressor design, this pneumatic system can be applied only to the lower pressure application, and that lower pressure application means what? It is limited to the only or less than the 17 bar pressure. Whereas if you consider the hydraulic system, the hydraulic system can be applied to a higher pressure required application. Now higher means what? Up to 700 bars. Up to that range of the pressure, you can use the pneumatics hydraulic system. So that are the limitation of the disadvantages of this our pneumatic system. Getting it? Now here I will give some applications. I will give the highlights on the applications of the pneumatic system. Okay, so as we have discussed in the section number 1 of the unit number 1 about the hydraulic system. Okay, we have discussed some applications there about the hydraulic system. So like that hydraulic system, the applications of pneumatic system can be found in almost all industry, or you can call in all field. You can find the application of this pneumatic system. Now, however, of all application of all field, some of the industrial applications I will tell here. Now, which are the applications, industrial applications where the pneumatic systems are used? So first is the stamping, then drilling, punching, clamping, riveting, assembling, then hoisting, then logic controlling is there, then metal handling, then hampering. So these are the some areas of the industrial applications where the pneumatic systems are used. Getting it? Okay. Now, before going to the selection of hydraulic and pneumatic system, let us have one small video regarding which gives the highlights on the pneumatic system. Okay. So that will be our first for this lecture. Okay, that means we have discussed, but through the one video we'll listen some points about this. Okay, may I share one video to get more knowledge, or to highlight, or to brush up the knowledge of this pneumatic system? Just tell me, may I share the one video in the chat box? Write down yes, no. Okay, I will share. Okay. Firstly, I will show a video regarding the general layout and basic requirements of our pneumatic system. Then I have one small video about the application also that we will see. So firstly, we'll go for this one, general layout.
In this video, I discuss the general layout of pneumatic systems and the basic requirements of the pneumatic systems. Basic requirement of the pneumatic system means what are the basic components used in a pneumatic systems and how to draw the general layout of the pneumatic systems. So I explain with the animation so you can easily draw the diagrams and from which point you start the diagrams and which point you need to end the diagrams of the pneumatic systems. So basic device commonly used in a pneumatic systems are, so you already know in a pneumatic systems we use the compressed air, okay, and in hydraulic system we use the oil. So for increase the pressure of oil we use the pump, and for in a pneumatic systems we use the compressors to increase the pressure of the air or a gas. So first component required in a pneumatic systems is the air compressor. Okay, so here I draw the symbol of air compressor. Okay, so there is a specific symbols for all the component. Okay, that is for a pump that is a different components, and for a compressor it is a different symbols. So this is the symbol of compressors. Okay, in a symbol of pump this triangle is filled with the black color, and for air compressor this triangle is the white color. Okay, so this is the basic symbol of the pump and air compressors. So this compressor is runs by using the prime mover or a motors. So it take the air from atmospheres and increases pressure, then this supply compressed air is supplied to the air dryer. The second component is the air dryers. So in a detail we understand the functions of all the component. Here I just make the list of the component and how to draw the diagrams. Okay, so you draw the starting of this diagram for these compressors. Third component is the air receiver tank. So air from the air dryer is supplied to the air receiver tank. Then after the next unit is the FRL. FRL means filter, regulators and lubricators. So here first one is the filter, then second one is the regulators, and third one is the lubricators. Then after it is supplied to the air coming out from the lubricator is supplied to the direction control bar. Means here written that is a 4/2 direction control bars. So
please tell me whether such videos are relevant to our topic, or whether these videos are useful to get more knowledge of our this subject. Okay, whether such videos are good or not. Please tell me yes or no. In the chat box, write down yes, no. Whether such videos are giving more knowledge of. Okay. Okay, thank you. I got answer. Okay, thank you.
here the port P is there. From the port P, either the air is supplied to the port A, or either it is supplied to the port P, or either it is returned from the T. Okay, so here that is a total 4 port is there, and out of 4 it is supplied in a 2 direction. That's why it is called as the 4x2 direction control valve. Then after the flow control valve is there. So here the flow control valve is provided. And then after the double acting cylinders, means at the last part is the double acting cylinders, means the compressed air is supplied from both sides of the piston. Here this yellow part is the piston. Okay, that's why its name is the double acting cylinders, or either it is also called as the actuator. So various type of the actuator is there, but for that different chapter is available. So during that video I discussed the various type of the actuators. And the last component is the muffler. Okay, here you see that is a muffler is provided. Okay, now before moving ahead, I request to like the video and subscribe my channels for watching the more video related to the OHP as well as the another subject of the mechanicals. For the OHP, various link is provided in the description or from the top right screen of your symbol for the I symbol is there. From that you can watch or either visit the playlist. Now here I discuss the every component in the detail. Okay, so first component is the air compressor. So here you see this the air compressor is provided. It takes the air from atmosphere and supplied the air to the air dryers, as well as some mechanical energy is supplied to the compressor. Okay, so it draw the air from atmosphere, compress it and deliver compressed air to the pneumatic systems. Okay, so these are the fully pneumatic systems. So its compressed air is supplied to pneumatic systems, or also you written that the compressed air is supplied to the air dryers. Okay, and for compression process we require some mechanical energy. It is produced by using the prime movers or a electric motor. Then after this compressed air is supplied to the air dryer. So second component is the air dryer. Okay, from the name you can understand what is the functions of the dryers. Okay, so dryer is the remove the moisture from the air. So compressed air delivered by the compressor contain the moisture from the atmosphere. Okay, so atmosphere air have some humidity. Humidity means some moisture is present. So we require to remove these moistures. Okay, otherwise this moisture is supplied in all the parts and is create the problem like the corrosions. Okay, so this moisture is separated and removed by the air dryers. So moisture is removed from the air dryers and only the dry air is supplied to the another pneumatic system, means it is supplied to the air receiver tank. Only the dry compressed air is given to the pneumatic system. Third component is the air receiver tank. Okay, so here you see air receiver tank is provided. It stores the compressed air, means the compressed air coming from compressor is passed to air dryers and it is stored in the receiver tank. Apart from storing the compressed air, it has the several another functions, means main function is to store the air. With the storing they are also performs another functions. So first it acts as a cooler to cool the hot compressed air. So we know that during the compression process with the pressure the temperature of the air is also increased. Okay, so we store the air in a tank, so at that time its temperature is reduced. Okay, it acts as a moisture separators to separate and remove the water content in the compressed air. Okay, so when we store the air then water content is there and the water is settled down inside the tank. And it acts as a support to mount the compressors and another components. Okay, so in this image we draw the compressor here and the air receiver tank is here. Okay, but in actually system is that the compressor is generally installed on the tank. Okay, so it's required a lower space. So in majority of case the compressor is installed or a mount on the air receiver tanks, or some another component is also mount on the air receiver tank. Fourth component is the FRL unit. So it is the combination of three different units. Okay, so here you see first unit is filter, second one is the regulators, and third one is the lubricators. So they take the first letter of the all the three words, that is F R L N. Sorry, F R L. That's why it's
okay. We have gone for the hydraulic system. Okay, and in the entire unit section number 1, you haven't listened this FRL unit. Okay, you haven't listened, but you haven't heard about this. Okay, but the major difference between the hydraulics and pneumatic is that in pneumatic system, as we have to
filter our air, correct? That we need to regulate that lubricate also. So for that purpose, this FRL unit is specially used in the pneumatic system only. It is not used in the hydraulic system. Okay, so this is a big difference. Okay, otherwise, what are the actuator stack we have learned in the hydraulic system? Same actuator stack we are going to learn in the pneumatic section also. Again, what are the direction control or pressure control or the flow controls we have learned in the unit number, or about the hydraulic, same types also available for this pneumatic system also. The major difference is that pump is used in the hydraulic system, and here pump is not used in pneumatic. Here compressor is used, okay, to compress the air, and FRL unit is especially used in this pneumatic. Okay, this FRL is just a assembly of the filter, regulator, and the lubricator. It's a step, it's assembly in detail, everything we are going to learn in the unit number 5th. Okay.
Name is given FRL unit. So first one is the air filter. So you already know the functions of air filters. It's filter and remove the dust particles from the compressed air and allows the clean dry compressed air to the system. Means it's only supply the dry compressed air or a clean compressed air to the another components of the pneumatic system. Suppose if we supply the dust with the air, then they create the wear and tear of the reciprocating and rotary component. Means here you see in double acting cylinder, suppose here the dust particle is supplied, then the wear and tear of the cylinders as well as the piston is possible. That's why we need to provide the air filter to remove the dust particles. Second one is the air regulator. Okay, it's control the pressure of the compressed air. So for
okay, please listen carefully about this FRL unit. Okay, because your university examination will be based on the MCQ. Getting it? So in the MCQ about this FRL unit, separate one question or one or more than one question will be there, MCQ based. Out of that, one will be the symbol. Okay, and second will be the purpose or function of this air filter or the air regulator or that lubricator. Okay, fix the one or two questions will be there based on this FRL unit. MCQ questions I am asking. So for that purpose, you should know the just purpose, function, or the basic about this FRL unit. Okay, and that basic within one line here in this slide it is mentioned. Getting it? So for that purpose, I am requesting you that please listen carefully. In detail, we are going to see but as examination point of view, in short, you should know. Okay.
For controlling the pressure, we use the air regulator. And third one is the air lubricators. So air lubricator adds the lubricating oil to the compressed air. Because if we not provide the lubrications, then the wear is done. So that's why we need to provide the lubricating oils with the air lubricators. And the next one is the direction control valve. Means the compressed air coming out from the lubricators is supplied here in a direction control valve. So here the 4x2 direction control valve. For that already I discussed, that is a fourth part is there. That's why here written is 4, and it is supplied in two directions, either in A directions or either in a B direction. That's why its name is the 4x2 direction control valve. It controls the direction of flow of compressed air, by which it performs the extensions and retractions of the actuators. So its name is already suggests, that is a direction control, means it's control the direction of flow of compressed air. Okay, by which it perform extensions and retractions of the actuators in a double acting cylinder. So here in this image you see double acting cylinder is there. Okay, so when this piston is moving from left to right, at that time is called as the extensions, and when this piston is moving from the right side to left side, it is called as the retractions of the actuators. Next one is the flow control valve. So also from the name we understand that it's control the flow rate of the compressed air, means it's control the quantity of the compressed air supplied, that is the Q. Okay, so it's control the rate of flow of compressed air by which speed of extension and retractions of the actuator is controlled. Means by changing the flow rate of the compressed air, we are able to control the speed of these pistons. Okay, so these extensions and retractions are changed according to the flow rate. So if we supplied the flow rate, more flow rates, suppose we supplied the 2 meter cube per second, then we increase to 3 meter cube per second. So at that time this piston is create the more force. When we reduce the flow rate from 2 to 1, at that time the piston is produce the less force. Okay, so force is directly proportional to what quantity of the compressed air is supplied. Okay, so if we supply more air, then it's produce the more force. And the last one is the double acting cylinders. So it is the linear actuators, it develop the force and motions. So various type of actuator is there, either linears or rotary. So this double acting cylinder is the linear type because its output is in the linear directions. Okay, it's not the rotating directions, and it's develop the force and motions. So force developed is equal to pressure of compressed air into area of the piston. So force is directly proportional to two things. One is the pressure of compressed air, and another is the area of the piston. Okay, so here you see the area of the piston is higher. Okay, and on this left side the area of the piston is reduced due to this rod is provided. Okay, so forces is changed during the extensions and the retractions. Means during extension we are able to produce more force, and during retraction the less force is produced because the area is reduced. So here I written the two equations. F is equal to pressure into area during the extension. So area is equal to pi by 4 into d square. And next equation is F is equal to P into capital A minus small a. Means area of the piston is the capital A, and the area of this rod is a small a. So we need to the minus because the area is reduced. So there is the equations for during retractions. And here the muffler is provided to reduce the noise coming out from the return air. So in a bike generally we know that that is a small hole is created inside the silencers, so our bike is create the more noise. So similar way, suppose we are not provide the muffler here, then the system is create the more noise. Okay, so in a silencer generally that 2 or 3 things are provided, that is the converters and the muffler. Okay, so similar way this muffler is used to reduce the noise levels inside the air when the air is out from the system. So this create the noise, and for reducing the noise we provide the mufflers. So thank you for watching this video. If you learn, then like the video, subscribe the channels, comment on the video. And
Okay, now are you clear with all the component of basic elements or the layout of the pneumatic system? Okay, have you got about this pneumatic system? Please tell me. Are you clear with this layout of this or elements of this in detail? Because in the chapter number 1 itself, I have shown two systems, hydraulic system as well as pneumatic system. Okay, what was the difference? Okay, what was there for each and every element? What is its function? What is its purpose? That we have discussed. Just for brush up purpose, to be in continue with this pneumatic, I have shown that this video, okay, which use in short time. These videos are giving more knowledge. Okay, these are the very useful to understand. Okay, understood or not? Please tell me in the chat box. Are you clear with the pneumatic system element or this pneumatic system? Okay, all of you please reply in the chat box, say yes, no, something. Only 2 to 3 students are giving answer every time. Other students, what they are doing, I don't know. Okay, whether are you in this class, virtual class, or are you doing other work? Okay, by attending just as a formality this lecture. Okay, now I got sufficient answer. Okay, Now we got the meaning about this. 1 minute, I will share. Okay, we got the that pneumatic system elements and all these things. Now, also we know the about the this hydraulic system also. Getting it? Now, another question arises is that how to select pneumatic system or hydraulic system? Okay, or when to use pneumatic system or the hydraulic system? It's a answer we should know. Getting it? Because for any given application, if you see if, what are the applications I have told no in hydraulic section also, or the hydraulic system or this pneumatic. So applications are the common to both, but you will be able to, or we should be able to select proper system. It may be pneumatic or hydraulic system for our any application. So for a given application, there is a no hard and fast rule to follow to decide which of system should be used. Okay, there is no hard and fast rule to decide or to follow the while deciding hydraulic system or the pneumatic system for any application. But there are some guidelines, okay, that may be followed while selection of this any one system out of this hydraulic and pneumatic system. Okay, so now we have the both the system in front of us, pneumatic system as well as hydraulic system. Out of that, we have to select any one, okay, which will be suitable for our application. So to select that, there are some guidelines. Okay, now which are that guidelines that I will tell you. Now the first guideline is that if application requires a very high pressure or an or extensively accurate feed, no, then oil hydraulic system can be used. See, if the application requires a very high pressure or a extremely accurate feed, that time oil hydraulic system can be used. Please remember. Okay. Now second guideline is that if the application requires speed, then a medium amount of pressure and only a fairly accurate feed, no, then air pneumatic system can be used. Okay. If the application requires speed, medium amount of pressure and only a fairly accurate feed, that time you can go for this air pneumatic system. Getting it? Then third guideline is that if the application requires only medium amount of pressure and feed of greater accuracy, that time combination of air and pneumatic air and that is pneumatic and hydraulic system can be used. Combination of air pneumatic and oil hydraulic system that can be employed for the application where medium amount of pressure and feed of greater accuracy is required. That time you can use the both. Okay, are you clear with this? Because this is very important and it's the pressure range already I have told you. Getting it? So this is about the selection of the hydraulics and pneumatic system. Now, this point already I have covered in the unit number one. Unit number one, that is comparison of hydraulic and pneumatic. Okay, I have shown one table with respect to some specific point how this hydraulic system and pneumatic system differ. That we have discussed. Okay, now let us go for the one small video about this comparison. Okay. Difference
In
between
this video,
pneumatic and hydraulic.
I discuss the difference between hydraulic and pneumatic systems in the details. On the left side, we written the point of the hydraulic systems, and on the right side here the pneumatic systems. So first point is that in a working fluid is hydraulic oil in a hydraulic systems. Okay, so we already know that in a hydraulic system the working fuel is hydraulic oil. Okay, in a pneumatic systems working fuel is compressed air or a compressed gas is used. Okay, so such a systems in which the compressed air or gas is used, it is called as the pneumatic systems, and system in which the hydraulic oil means pressurized hydraulic.
This video or this point is very important because if you are not attended some lectures of the hydraulic system, then also through this video the whatever you have learned in the unit number section number 1, so it's a summary or here you will get. Okay, and this is very important with respect to university exam also, because in university exam you will have the MCQ questions. Okay, so if you know the difference between the hydraulic system and pneumatic system, then it will be easy to give the answer of the MCQ questions. Okay,
hydraulic oil is used, it's called as the hydraulic systems. Second point, we know that the oil is incompressible. Okay, and oil can be pressurized to a very high pressure. Okay, why? Because it is incompressible when we increase its pressure, its volume does not change, and when the volume does not change, we are able to increase the pressure of oil up to the very high level. And here some value is written, it is 500 bar or even more than 500 bar is possible. Okay, so when we use the very high pressure, it's have also some advantages and some disadvantages that we discuss in this video. In a pneumatic system, we know that the air is used, and air is the compressible, means we increase the pressure of the air, its volume is reduced. Okay, so it's have some limitations that we are not able to increase its pressure to the very high pressure because its volume is continuously increased, and if we increase the more pressure, then it's become the zero volume and it's converted into the solid. Okay, and the air can be pressurized to a lesser pressures only up to a 10 bar approximate. Okay, in the last few videos we discussing about that the force developed by the system. Okay, so force developed by the system is directly proportional to the pressure of the working substance into the area of the piston. Okay, and we know that the area of the piston is not in our hand, it is a fix. Now if we need to increase the force developed by the system, we have only one thing is to increase the pressure. Okay, so in a oil system, in a hydraulic system, we are able to increase pressure up to 5 bar, and here only 10 bar. Okay, so if the pressure is higher, we are able to produce the higher force. Okay, so from this point we are also able to write that when we require to higher force development, we need to use hydraulic system, and if we require to the lower force, then we need to use the pneumatic system. Okay, third point, pressure is very high, force developed is also very high in thousands of tons, that I already explained. Pressure is very less, force developed is very less, up to 1 ton. Okay, why the force is lower? Because the force is directly proportional to the pressure. So if you understand only one point in the detail, then you are easily able to write down more 3 or 4 points. Pressure is high, components are very strong, made of the steels and very heavy. Okay, so generally I give you the examples of the two-wheeler. Okay, in a two-wheelers, the tire pressure is the slight lower. Okay, I don't know exact value, but when we move to a four-wheelers, the pressure inside the tire is higher. In a truck and heavy equipments, earth moving equipments, the tire pressure inside the tire required is very higher. Okay, because they are lifting the heavy weights. Okay, now suppose we use the tube tire. Okay, so what is the thickness of the tube tire? So in a two-wheeler, the thickness of the tube is the smaller. In a four-wheeler, thickness of the tube is higher. In a truck and the heavy loading equipments, the thickness of the tube is higher. Why this is required? Because when the pressure is increased, we are required a higher thickness. Okay, so suppose we thinking about it, the balloon. Okay, everyone tried a balloon, okay, for the in a Holi we play. So balloon have a lower thickness, so we are able to fill the small quantity of waters, okay. So balloon thickness is higher, then we are able to fill more waters. Because the water amount of the pressure is created, it is more important. So similar way, we know that in a hydraulic system, the pressure inside the system is higher. So we require to use the heavy component, or either the thickness of the material is larger, okay. In a pneumatic system, components of the pneumatic systems are lighter in weight and are made of the aluminiums, because that is a very less pressure inside the system, okay. So we not require the heavy components and from the steel in the pneumatic system. Oil has a more viscosity, it cannot flow fast. We know that the thickness of the oil is higher, it cannot flow fast because its viscosity is higher. Hence, hydraulic systems are slower in operation. So oil is moved with the small velocity. So all the components are also not able to move fast, okay. So their component is also moving at the slow speed. And we also know that the velocity of the air is higher because its viscosity is low. So air has the very less viscosity, it can flow fast, hence the hydraulic systems are quicker in operations. Suppose we require the quick operations, then we need to use pneumatic systems. Suppose we require the slow speed and a heavy load, then we need to use the hydraulic system. Due to continuous recirculations of the oil, so we use the continuously same oils, okay. So temperature of the oil is increased. Why temperature of the oil is increased? Because in a pump we increase the pressure of oil, so with the pressure temperature is also increased. Due to friction in various component and pipe, the temperature of the oil is increased. In a pneumatic systems, it's harder it runs, cooler it works. Means we use the cylinders, okay. So in the cylinders the air is expand. Then when we able to produce some force, at that time we require the expansion of the working substance, okay. So when the expansion of the air is takes place, its temperature is already reduced, okay. So free expansion of the air in a cylinders and motor cause the chilling effect. So it is naturally chill inside the motors. Hydraulic oils are petroleum based oils and they are flammable, okay. So we know that the oil have certain flammability and they can catch the fire easily. So there is a very chances of the fire hazardous, okay. In a pneumatic systems, there is a no chances of fire hazardous because the air is non-flammables. Hence the pneumatic tools are preferably used inside the mines where the flammable gases may be present, okay. Mines means they are generally used in a coal mines and different oil mines, okay. Because the pneumatic systems are not able to catch fires, so suppose we are working in a coal mines, okay. So we use some devices to create the cavity inside the coal mines to remove the coal, okay. So suppose at that time the flame is clear, then there is a very big chances of the fire hazardous in a mines. Now before moving ahead, I request to like the video and subscribe my channels. For next point is leakage of oil result in dirty and sleepy surrounding and may lead to the accidents. So suppose the oil is leakage from some components, it's come onto the floor of the industries or a ground floor, okay. So oil is generally sleepy and suppose some person leg is put on this oil, so there are also chances of the accidents. In a pneumatic systems, there is a very less chances of the accident due to the leakage because the air is very clean and it is a dry surroundings and the dry surrounding is maintained. In a hydraulic system, pump is used is positive displacement pump, so pressure relief valve is necessary, okay. So during the working or a general layout of the hydraulic system, we see that the pump is used, okay. So with the pump, to control the pressure, we need the pressure relief valve. In a pneumatic system, there is no need of the pressure relief valve. In a hydraulic system, there is no need of separate lubrication system because hydraulic oil itself is a lubricant. So oil is generally passed from every component inside the hydraulic systems, okay. So we not required any separate hydraulic system because oil itself have a hydraulic system. So you generally know that in every lubrication system we use the oil, and here the working substance is oil, so we are not required any separate lubrication system. So cost of the lubrication system is reduced. In a pneumatic system, lubricator is necessary because we use the air as a working substance, and air is not itself as lubricant. Okay, so we require the lubrication system in a pneumatic systems. So oil is mixed with the compressed air in a lubricators, and then it is supplied to the system. And the last point is the applications. So hydraulic system is generally used in a number of CNC machines. Earth moving machine means it is a hydraulic cranes and the JCB. So in a hydraulic cranes, they use to lift the heavy weights. So in which the hydraulic system is used, or you already see the hydraulic crane. Okay, they are used to lifting the materials in a industries as well as for a different embroideries industries. Hydraulic system is used in automobiles. In automobiles means our vehicles, the different hydraulic system is used, supposed to operating the brakes. Okay, so brake is generally hydraulics and pneumatic both type is available. For a power steerings, the hydraulic system is used. So there is a number of systems in which the hydraulic system are used. Next is it is also used in aviations. Aviation means it is used in aircraft, rockets. Okay, so in these aeroplanes and the rocket, the number of system is operated by using the hydraulic systems. Pneumatic system is used in a material handling system. So transferring the material from one place to another place, the pneumatic system is used. Hand tool mining work, it is used in mines. Okay, that we already understand. In different automation work, and in also automobiles, the pneumatic system is used. Okay, so in automobile, some systems are hydraulic and some systems are pneumatics. Okay, so I discuss about the brakes. So brake is possible both hydraulics and pneumatics. Okay, so pneumatic brake is generally used in a trains and different truck. Okay, so
Okay, so in the next lecture, we will start with the first component of the pneumatic system, that is actuator. Okay. Now I request all of you, please write down your roll number in the chat box, and after writing your roll number in the chat box, you can leave this meeting. Okay. Thank you very much. Those students who are remaining to give the attendance, please write down your roll number. Baijan, Ajit, Gaikwad, Suyog, Sondake, Gaurav Karande, Shubham. Please write down your roll number. Okay. Shubham, Gaurav, Papendra Sondake, Suyog.